Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're back. We're doing something a little bit different today. Today we're going to do my NCAA tournament prediction. This is my favorite time of the year. My favorite sport of the year is college basketball. I absolutely love college basketball. It is by far my favorite. And now I'm going to, fill out a bracket, give you my predictions, what my thoughts and everything. Going to break down every game, even, the crappy ones. We'll break them all down. We're going to see who my Final Four is. I mean, it's, going to be probably kind of chalky, but to be honest, I filled out a, bracket like in a minute last night, but this is the first time really, I've done all my research, I have it all set up, but I'm actually talking myself through this now. So this is me actually like making my picks. Like I think I knew who I'm gonna pick, but I could change my mind right here, right now. So this is probably what I'm gonna roll with too. So yeah, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new here. I know this is mostly a DFS channel where I break down drafting sports for football, NASCAR, basketball, whatever. But I'm gonna probably start trying to include some more just like normal sports stuff instead of just DraftKings. This is the first thing I'm going to do with it. It's going to be a college basketball tournament, the bracket breakdown. So, yeah, we're going to start it off. The first game is going to be Gonzaga versus Norfolk State. Gonzaga's going to be massive favorites here. They're undefeated this season. They have not lost a game. They rank number 1 in KenPom, Haslametrics, and the net. They're coming in on a 26-game win streak. They are 26-0, have not lost a game this year. They will be playing Norfolk State, who ranks 200th in KenPom, 209th in Hasla, and 170th in the net. 4-6 in their last 10 games, coming in with a win streak of 2 and 1 loss before the conference tournament. I'm not going to pick Norfolk State or App. I didn't even talk about App. App 209th in KenPom, 233rd in Haslametrics, 210 in net. 6-4 in their last 10, win streak of 4, and 1 loss before the conference tournament. I'm going to pick App to beat Norfolk State. You probably thought I was about to say Gonzaga. No, I'm going to pick App State to beat Norfolk State. Honestly, only because I'm from North Carolina and that's where they are, so I'm going to roll with them. And then I'm going to pick Gonzaga to beat them. So we'll move on Gonzaga. The next game on this side of the bracket is going to be Oklahoma versus Missouri. We have the 8 seed Oklahoma, the 9 seed Missouri. Oklahoma is ranked 39th in KenPom, 36th in Haslametrics, and 37th in the net. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games, and they don't have a win streak at all coming into this, and they had 4 losses before the conference tournament, so that is not good for Oklahoma. They are a Big 12 team, and the Big 12 obviously one of the better conferences in the country, in my opinion, the second best conference in the country, but still, they just have not been playing so great as of late. Second half of the season, they really struggled. Missouri, they ranked 51st in KenPom, 53rd in the Haslametrics, and 47th in the net. When you average out those 3 metrics, Oklahoma does have an average of 37.33, and Missouri has an average of 50.33. So Oklahoma metrics, the computers like them better than Missouri. Both of them 4-6 in their last 10. Both of them have 0 win streak coming in. But Missouri only had 1 loss before the conference tournament, so not as much of a losing streak for Missouri as is for Oklahoma. Honestly, I hate this game. I hate that these two teams got to play each other right now. These are not a team I want to move on. Like, there's some 8 and 9 games I'm like, man, I want both these teams to go move on. We'll get to those when we get there. But Oklahoma and Missouri was not one of those. I'm probably going to just roll with the computer metrics here. It likes Oklahoma more than Missouri, so I'm going to go Oklahoma here. The next game is going to be Creighton versus University of California, Santa Barbara. I really like Usc Kansas. We'll talk about them in a second. But Creighton, they rank 19th in KenPom, 10th in the Haslametrics, 26th in the net. Santa Barbara, 69th in KenPom, 75 in Haslametrics, and 54 in the net. Obviously, Creighton's is going to average out a lot better. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games, and Santa Barbara's 9-1 in their last 10 games. Creighton is coming in with a 0-game win streak after losing to Georgetown, but they were on a 1-game win streak before the conference tournament. Now, I know I haven't really talked about this, but look, one of the things that I really value a lot in when making my brackets selections is how a team's playing. Like, I know, you look at computer metrics, you look at everything, look at their whole record, but if they're on a win streak coming in, I really like that. And you see Santa Barbara is on a 5-game win streak coming into this game. They have 2 wins before the conference tournament as well, so 2 win streak before the conference tournament. They are 9-1 in their last 10 games. They're playing fantastic. Creighton has not looked great recently. I watch a lot of college basketball, so I've seen Creighton play a lot this year. And honestly, it's just I don't see it with them, and I think UCSB is a very good team. So I'm going to go with the upset here and call University of California, Santa Barbara. Look, it's March. There's going to be upsets, so I got to call my upsets. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, UC Santa Barbara probably wins this game 7 out of 10 times. Like, no, probably not. Creighton, they're a 5 seed for a reason. But, you got to pick some upsets, and that's where we're going to start. The next game, Virginia versus Ohio. Virginia to 4 seed, Ohio to 13 seed. Now, we'll talk about the computer numbers and stuff first. Virginia 11th in KenPom, 12th in Haslametrics, and 12th in net. Ohio 78th in KenPom, 76th in Haslametrics, and 87th in the net. Obviously, Virginia's is going to average out way better. This is kind of a very similar matchup to me as the last game. Like, look, Virginia's 7-3 in their last 10. Ohio's 9-1 in their last 10. Virginia is on a 3-game win streak coming in here, and are coming into this tournament with 2 wins before the conference tournament. Now, look, I know they didn't win their conference tournament, but I don't really count the COVID as like a. I mean, yeah, on the record it's going to say a loss, but they didn't play that game, so I can't say that means they're playing bad, you know. So I didn't really count that today when I was making my spreadsheet that I'm looking at over here. Then Ohio, they're on a 3-game win streak as well. 1 loss before the conference tournament, but they went on a run in the conference tournament, and I really like Ohio here for a few reasons. Like, I mean, Virginia won. They're not going to practice all week because of the COVID stuff, and I mean, there's not even a guarantee they play. Like, Ohio could still just be moved in over them. Virginia doesn't withdraw in time for another team to get there. But we'll know that. Like, that's not why I'm gonna pick Ohio. But for me, it's more like, if you're not practicing all week, like we've seen so many teams struggle right off the bat with these COVID issues, and I don't want to. I'm nervous about Virginia. They're probably gonna be down a player. We don't know who it is yet, but there was a player. The player who tested positive for Virginia played against Syracuse, so that is a player who plays. So they're gonna be down a player, obviously. So I like Ohio. Jason Preston, I mean, really good point guard there. He's going to be tough to handle. I know Virginia's a good team, but just the lack of practice this week for Virginia that Virginia's going to have does really much scare me. So I'm going to go Ohio over Virginia here. It's probably be a little surprising, and we're going to have a 12-13 in the second round, but man, I don't hate that at all. So I'm liking that upset. We got to pick some upsets this March. So USC, Wichita State, or Drake. I guess we'll talk about Wichita State versus Drake first. Wichita State 74th in KenPom, 91st in Haslametrics, 72nd in the net. 8-2 in their last 10 games. They were on a 7-game winning streak before the conference tournament, so they lost to Cincinnati. That was kind of surprising. That was kind of an eye opener for me for Wichita State. I did not like that loss. Drake 53rd in KenPom, 54th in Haslametrics, and 45th in the net. They are going to grade out better when you look at the computer rankings overall. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They're not on a win streak, 1 loss streak before the conference tournament. I'm kind of torn with this game, with the Wichita State Drake game. I think I'm going to choose Wichita State just because I honestly just think they're a better team. I honestly have not been on the Drake train all year. I always kind of thought they were a little bit overrated, and it shows them barely getting in the tournament. But I'm just going to stick with Wichita State because they probably would have been if they didn't lose to Cincinnati. Like, I don't even think they'd be a first 4 team. And then they're going to play. So now it's going to be Wichita State playing USC. USC is 14th in KenPom, 26th in Haslametrics, and 19th in the net. Way better average. They're 6-4 in the last 10, which isn't great, but they were on a 2-game win streak before the conference tournament. Lost a close game to Colorado. I'm going to pick USC. I just think they're a much better team. I really like Evan Mobley. I really like this team. I think they're very, very good. They're very deep. They have a lot of scoring to play defense. So I'm gonna pick USC here. Kansas versus Eastern Washington. Kansas is 22nd in KenPom, 19th in Haslametrics, and 11th in the net. Eastern Washington's 110 in KenPom, 87 in Haslametrics, and 113 in net. They are 9-1 in their last 10. Kansas is 8-2 in their last 10. Kansas is coming in on a 3-game win streak, and Eastern Washington's coming in on a 4-game win streak. But I don't think Eastern Washington's that good. I'm gonna go Kansas. Oregon versus VCU. Oregon's 36th in KenPom, 35th in Haslametrics, and 33 in the net. VCU's 45th in KenPom, 44 in Haslametrics, and 36 in the net. We have Oregon. Their average is gonna look pretty decently better. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. VCU's 7-3 in their last 10 games. Both lost a game in their conference tournament, but Oregon was on a 5-game win streak before the conference tournament, and VCU was on a 1-loss streak before the conference tournament. I think this game's gonna be close. It's a tough one to pick, but I'm gonna go with Oregon. I like them. They were playing really good before the conference tournament. Who'd they lose to? They lost to Oregon State. They lost to Oregon State. That's right. And Colorado and USC play each other. That's the one conference tournament I didn't watch this week because it's always on so late. But yeah, Oregon lost to Oregon State. But they also, they beat Oregon State this year. So Oregon State's underrated in my opinion going into this tournament. So we'll talk about them later. But I think Oregon wins this game. That's just going to be my selection. I think they're a better team. Iowa, Grand Canyon. Iowa 5th in KenPom, 5th in Haslametrics, 6th in net versus Grand Canyon 108th in KenPom, 104th in Haslametrics, and 106th in the net. Iowa 8-2 in their last 10. Grand Canyon 7-3. 2 wins before the conference tournament for Iowa, and Grand Canyon's coming in on a 3-game win streak. But Iowa's Iowa. They're really good, so I don't think they get upset. Let's move down the bracket to the east side of this. Where the first game we are going to have is Michigan versus Mount St. Mary's. Hold on, let me grab a drink of water real quick. All right, sorry. Michigan is second in KenPom, second in Haslametrics, fourth in net. Mount St. Mary's 219. They play Mount St. Mary's or Texas Southern. Look, I'm going to cut to the chase. Michigan's going to win. I don't really feel like breaking down that game too much. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about Michigan later because they have some injuries they got to deal with, but they're not losing to Mount St. Mary's or Texas Southern. LSU St. Bonaventure. This is a good game, man. I was really, like LSU's winning this game, but I was doing some research on St. Bonaventure this morning. They're a good team, man. LSU 29th in KenPom, 29th in Haslametrics, 28th in net. St. Bonaventure's 25th in KenPom, 20th in Haslametrics, 27th in the net. St. Bonaventure is a better average there. They're both 7-3 in their last 10. St. Bonaventure's coming in on a 3-game win streak after winning their conference tournament. Now, LSU was on a 2-game win streak before the conference tournament and then won 2 games against both Arkansas and Ole Miss. Ole Miss was a bubble team. Arkansas, a 3-seed in this tournament. Really good team. They went down to the last shot against Alabama. So LSU is really good. I really like both these teams. Like, this is like, how we just talked about Oklahoma and Missouri. I pick both these teams over either one of those 100%. Wouldn't even be close, but we got to select one of them. I think LSU is just so good on offense that I'm going to go with them. Their offensive power is so high. Like, they just scored a ball all the time. Cam Thomas, Trendon Watford, Javonte Smart, Darius Stays. Like, that team is absolutely stacked on offense, and then when they lock in on defense, they are very tough to talk about. And this is going to be a game we're going to talk about in the next round. LSU Michigan is going to be a tough talking point. And I'm not even decided on who I want to pick in that game yet, and we're going to get into that one when we get to the second round. Colorado Georgetown is the next game. This game is a 5 versus a 12. Freaking Georgetown, man. They won a Big East tournament. I cannot believe that. That's awesome. Great for Patrick Ewing. I love Patrick Ewing. I've always wanted to see him succeed. Happy they did that. This is going to be a tough matchup, though. Colorado's underrated, in my opinion. 17th in KenPom, 13th in Haslametrics, 15th in the net. They're 7-3 in their last 10 as well. Had a 4-game winning streak going on before the conference tournament where they won 2 games and then lost in the conference championship to Oregon State. Georgetown, 55 in KenPom, 44th in Haslametrics, 64th in the net. 8-2 in their last 10. They are on a 4-game winning streak as well. Like, Georgetown, they're kind of in the laughing stock. They've been playing well the last month or two. 8-2 in their last 10 is impressive. So this is a tough matchup for me, but Colorado, they grade out so well everywhere. I'm going to stick with them. So Colorado's going to be my choice. Up next, we got Florida State versus UNC Greensboro. Florida State, 15th in KenPom, 22nd in Haslametrics, 24th in the net. They're 7-3 in their last 10, my bad. They're coming in on no-game win streak, and they had a loss before the conference tournament. UNC Greensboro, 100th in KenPom, 102nd in the Haslametrics, and 84th in the net. 8-2 in their last 10. They're on a 4-game winning streak coming in here. Look, Florida State, all year, not all year, but I've always been like, okay, they're good, they're a good team, but recently they've not been playing well at all. I'm really worried about Florida State coming into this tournament. Like, I really am worried about them. And UNC Greensboro was a team coming into that I already liked. They've been kind of hot the last month as well. Very good team. I'm going to pick them to upset Florida State here. And I think this is not going to be a popular upset pick. I don't think a lot of people are going to pick Florida State. Florida State is going to be a team that a lot of people pick to move on. I think Florida State's going to be a popular Sweet 16 team as well. Because what, you think they're going to, you think Colorado or Georgetown's going to lose to Florida State after they lose to UNC Greensboro? But this is where I don't think Florida State's that good. They have not been playing well. They have talent, but they just have not looked good recently. They lost Carolina. They didn't even they beat Carolina, then they lost to Georgia Tech. I know Georgia Tech's good, but Florida State, they just haven't looked great. So I'm going to go UNC Greensboro. I know it's going to be an unpopular pick, but I'm stick with them. Stick with my Carolina boys. Gotta pick those teams from North Carolina to move on, of course. The next game is going to be BYU versus Michigan State. This game, Oops. Well, I spoiled my pick for the Michigan State UCLA. So I picked Michigan State over UCLA. UCLA shouldn't even be in the tournament. So, okay, we're going Michigan State. So BYU versus Michigan State. Oops. BYU, 24th in KenPom, 41st in the Haslametrics, and 20th in the net. 7-3 in their last 10. They were on a 4-game winning streak going into the conference tournament where, Gonzaga happened. Michigan State, 56th in KenPom, 60th in Haslametrics, and 70th in the net. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. On a 1-game winning streak before the conference tournament. And they lost to Maryland. I didn't like that loss. Honestly, I think Michigan State, everyone's like, oh my gosh, Michigan State's peaking now. Tom Izzo, I know that's the whole thing, but they're not that good, man. This team, they just had some big wins at good moments, like the big win against Illinois, the big win against Michigan, and the big win against Ohio State. massive wins that they needed, and congrats on them, they got it, but I still think they're a little bit overrated. I mean, then they just go lose to Maryland. Like, what are you doing? The problem is, I hate this game because I mean I like BYU. I really thought this was gonna be a team that can make a run, but one of those first four teams every year gets, well, it seems like every single year moves on. So I got to pick one of them. I didn't pick Wichita State against USC, so I am going to go with Michigan State here over BYU. That's literally my only reasoning. I would normally pick BYU, but I mean, it is also Tom Izzo. Like, dude's just a beast when it comes to March. So I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if they win the next game, either. So next game we're gonna talk about those Texas Abilene Christian. Now this Abilene Christian team is underrated. First Texas, 26th in KenPom, 25th in Hazelmetrics, 21st in the net. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They're on a 5-game winning streak coming in with 3 wins coming before the conference tournament. Abilene Christian's 86th in KenPom, 67th in Hazelmetrics, 74th in the net. They are 9-1 in their last 10. 4-game winning streak coming into the tournament. 2-game winning streak before the conference tournament. Abilene Christian's good. This was another team I was kind of like looking at, like, okay, maybe they could upset somebody, but Texas, man, I was really high on Texas. Then Texas kind of was like, ooh, maybe they're not as good. But recently they've picked it back up a lot. Really like Texas here. I don't think they're going to lose in the first round of the tournament. Shaka Smart's a great coach. I'm going to go Texas here. Yukon Maryland, the next game we're going to talk about here. Yukon ranks 16th in KenPom, 9th in Hazelmetrics, 30th in the net. To Maryland's 31st in KenPom, 37th in Hazelmetrics, and 35th in the net. Yukon 7-3 in their last 10, and Maryland 6-4 in their last 10. Both are not coming in on a winning streak, but Yukon was on a 4-game winning streak before the conference tournament, and Maryland was on a 2-game losing streak before the conference tournament. Make that 3 with. Oh wait, no wait, they won their first round game. I think it was Penn State. I don't remember who, or it might have been Northwestern. No, maybe it was Minnesota. I don't know. Maryland won their first round game in the Big Ten tournament, and then lost Michigan, and then no, they beat Michigan State. I'm tripping. Never mind. Forget all that. I'm picking UConn. James Bouknight is a baller. I mean, he's so good. I'm not betting against him. I love it. I love this team. I really wish they won the Big East tournament so they could have gotten a 6th seed. But I mean, I really like this team. So UConn, really high on them. Alabama Iona. Bama's 8th in KenPom, 7th in Hazelmetrics, 7th in the net. To Iona's 181st in KenPom, 180th in Hazelmetrics, and 138th in the net. Bama's 9-1 in their last 10. Iona's 8-2 in their last 10. Bama's coming in on a 6-game win streak, and Iona's also coming in on a 6-game win streak. Like, look, Iona, that's Rick Pitino's team, man. Rick Pitino coaches them now, but I don't care. Bama, sorry, Pitino, you're going out here. You just don't have the talent this year to beat them. Alabama's really good. I'm picking Bama. Let's go to the South Range. Save you guys some suspense and tell you who I'm going to pick. Baylor Hartford. We're going to pick we're going to pick Baylor. Baylor's really good. I mean, I know they lost to Oklahoma State the other day, but don't get worried about them. That team's legit. 4th in KenPom, 3rd in Hazelmetrics, 2nd in the net, 8-2 in their last 10. 3 wins before the Big 12 tournament. I mean, they have 2 losses on the year overall. So yeah, I'm not worried about Baylor at all. North Carolina, Wisconsin's gonna be the next game here. Look, if you look at Wisconsin's computer numbers, you'd think they're one of the best teams in the country. 10th in KenPom, 17th in Hazelmetrics, and 26th in the net. But they're 3-7 in their last 10 games. 3-7. That's brutal. They play well computer-wise, but I mean, they just don't win games, man. They don't win games. 3-game losing streak going into the conference tournament. They did beat Penn State, but they should have beat Penn State. North Carolina, 29th in KenPom, 30th in Hazelmetrics, and 32nd in the net. 6-4 in their last 10. They were on a 1-game winning streak coming into the conference tournament. I'm picking Carolina. Wisconsin just doesn't win games. They just don't win games. I wouldn't be surprised if Wisconsin wins. This game's, there's a few games where I'm just kind of like a toss-up for me. This is one of those pure toss-ups for me. I really don't know who wins this game at all. I think either team has a very good shot, but I'm going to go North Carolina. I'm going to stick with, the Carolina. We're going to keep going with the Carolina teams, which I don't think I've had one North Carolina team lose yet. Correct? I honestly don't even know how many's in this tournament. I have had App State lose. But they won their first 4 games, so count that. Yeah, I picked UNC Greensboro. Yeah, and then North Carolina. I think there's a few more. Villanova versus Winthrop, which is a South Carolina team. Ben, that's a nice campus over there. Just letting you know. But this is an interesting game for me. Villanova, they ranked 12th in KenPom, 11th in Hazelmetrics, 17th in the net. To Winthrop's 91st in KenPom, 79th in Hazelmetrics, and 55 in net. And for a small major team, that's really good. But Villanova's 5-5 in their last 10 to Winthrop's 9-1. Winthrop's coming in on a 7-game winning streak, with Villanova coming in on a 1-game losing streak. and one loss before the tournament as well. And that loss, to me, it's just Colin Gillespie's out for the season, got hurt in their last 2 games ago, and they're 0-2 without him. And they lost to Georgetown. Like, Georgetown's not good. Like, I compare Winthrop to Georgetown. I'm picking Winthrop, man. They're hot. They've lost one game all year long. This team's really good. I think this is a team to be scared of in March. I know Villanova's Villanova and Jay Wright's Jay Wright, but that team's not right now. I mean, they are not playing great. I mean, no, when you lose your best player and your leader, like, it's just tough to come back from that, especially right at the end of the season, like right before the tournament. So that's what I'm going for. That I'm going Winthrop in the upset. Purdue, North Texas. Purdue ranks 13th in KenPom, 23rd in Hazelmetrics, and 22nd in the net. North Texas ranks 71st in KenPom, 72nd in Hazelmetrics, and 59th in the net. They're both 7-3 in their last 10 games. North Texas coming in on a 4-game winning streak. Purdue's coming in on a 0-game winning streak, but they were on a 5-game winning streak before the Big Ten tournament, which, it's the toughest conference to win. Like, no one expected them to win that tournament. North Texas, man, this is a tough team, man. This is going to be a tough game, I think. North Texas really, really good defensively, but Purdue's got size and they can score. I'm going to go Purdue here. Texas Tech, Utah State. This is a game that is another toss-up for me, man. I really don't know what to do with this game. Tech ranks 23rd in KenPom, 15th in Hazelmetrics, and 16th in the net. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games, 0-game winning streak with a 1-game loss streak going into the conference tournament. Utah State, 40th in KenPom, 39th in Hazelmetrics, and 39th in the net. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games. They're on a 0-game winning streak, but they were on a 4-game winning streak before the conference tournament. Oh, man. Like, this Texas Tech team, I don't think they're that good. Like, I have been all on their overrated, like, all year long. I've never thought they were good, but I do think one player on that team is good, and I think Mac McClung is an absolute bucket. He is so good, one of the best college basketball players in the country right now. But, and like, if there's, there's just some players that just scream March, and Mac McClung is one of those guys that just screams March. But that team, I mean, someone else needs to pick up scoring. That's been their biggest problem all year, is he's been the only guy being able to score, and when he doesn't score well, that team's bad. So, I think I'm going to go Utah State. I really just think they're a better team here. I love Mac McClung, but Utah State's going to get the win here with an 11-6 upset. The next game we're going to talk about is Arkansas and Colgate. Look, this game is going to be closer than I think people think. Colgate's really good, man. 84th in KenPom, but they're 24th in Hazelmetrics and 9th in the net, and they're 10-0 in their last 10 games with a 10-game winning streak coming in. They have, I think, one loss all year long. But Arkansas, man, they're great too. 18th in KenPom, 21st in Hazelmetrics, and 14th in the net. 9-1 in their last 10, and an 8-game winning streak before the conference tournament where they lost to LSU. This team's good. Moses Moody's good. Justin Smith's good. JD Notae's good. Like, this team's loaded. I'm going Arkansas. I think this is a really good team. Sorry, Colgate. There was a lot of teams I probably would have picked Colgate over, but Arkansas is not one of them. Next game is going to be Florida versus Virginia Tech. Florida ranks 37th in KenPom, 40th in Hazelmetrics, and 31st in the net. 5-5 in their last 10 games. 0-game winning streak coming in, and a two-game losing streak before the conference tournament. And then Virginia Tech, I don't know what to do with this team. I've kind of been all Virginia Tech overrated like all year long, and I'm kind of probably going to stick with that. 50th in KenPom, 59th in Hazelmetrics, and 48th in the net, and they've been like a top 25 team all year. I don't get that. But the problem is for them, they haven't played a lot of games in the last 2 months. Like, they played like 3 games in the last 2 months, and because of COVID, and I mean, that just showed. I mean, they lost to Miami in the ACC tournament, and like, I know Miami played really good in the ACC tournament, but it's still freaking Miami. Like, they were awful all year long. I don't think Virginia Tech's that. I've been on them being overrated all year long, and I'm gonna stick with that. But then put in the fact that they just have not played a lot recently, haven't beat anybody good in a while. I'm gonna go Florida here. I don't like either of these two teams really. I probably would have picked a lot of other 7-10s over both of them, but we'll go Florida here. This is also gonna be the first game on the Saturday of the conference tournaments. So brackets can be busted real quick, which will probably be mine, or Friday, my bad. But yeah, my bracket will probably be busted immediately because that always happens on the first game. So Virginia Tech will probably win. So yeah, you should probably pick Virginia Tech. I'm going to take Florida and probably lose, but because I took them, you should probably take Virginia Tech. Ohio State, Oral Roberts, I'm picking Ohio State. 7th in KenPom, 8th in Hazelmetrics, 8th in the net, 5-5 in their last 10. Coming in on a 0-game winning streak and 4-game losing streak before the Big Ten tournament, but like 3 of those 4 games were to Illinois, Michigan, and Iowa, 3 of the best teams in the country. So like, I'm not really too worried about that at all. Next up, we're gonna go over to the Midwest tournament or Midwest bracket side of it. Illinois, Drexel, save it real quick. Illinois, like, come on, like, I mean, they're just balling right now. 3rd in KenPom, 4th in the Hazelmetrics, 3rd in the net. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games. 7-game winning streak coming in. 4-game winning streak before the conference tournament. And those wins. You want me to tell you those wins? Michigan, Iowa, Ohio State twice, Wisconsin, Rutgers, who's a solid another tournament team. These are big wins. They lost to Michigan State. That's their loss before the 7-game winning streak. Illinois is playing out of their mind right now. Yeah, I'm rocking with them here. Loyola, Chicago, Georgia Tech. This is the 8-9 game I hate. All right. 9th in KenPom, 18th in Haslametrics, 10th in net. 9-1 in their last 10 games, 6-game winning streak. Why is Loyola Chicago an 8 seed? I don't understand. Whatever. They're a lower conference. They don't play as many. But these computer numbers are so predictive and look so good. Like, these always work out. Like, these computer numbers are the most predictive numbers in college basketball year in, year out. Loyola Chicago is, as an 8 seed, it's dumb. This is a disrespect to Georgia Tech. Like, Georgia Tech, as a 9 seed, now they got to play like a top 10 KenPom team? Like, what? That's stupid. Like, Georgia Tech should not be happy about this. Illinois, if Loyola Chicago wins this game, now they got to go play a team that should probably be a 6 seed in the second round as a 1 seed. Like, that just sucks. Like, I hate it. I think it's stupid. Loyola Chicago should be a 5 or 6 seed in my opinion. I don't understand why they're an 8. And I love Georgia Tech. I was really high on them going in. I was like, this is a team that could go far, but they're not beating Loyola Chicago. That team's elite. Loyola Chicago. Georgia Tech's good, but Loyola Chicago's on a whole nother level this year. I mean, this Loyola Chicago team is better than the team that went to the Final Four. So just point that out there. Doesn't mean I'm picking them for the Final Four, but they're better than that team is. They're a better regular season team than that team was. Tennessee, Oregon State. We got Tennessee 21st in KenPom, 16th in Haslametrics, and 13th in the net. They're 6-4 in their last 10 games, coming in with a 0-game winning streak and a 1-game winning streak before the conference tournament. Oregon State 85th in KenPom, 70th in Haslametrics, and 91st in the net. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games, coming in with a 3-game winning streak. Tennessee's another team that I've said is just overrated, like all year long. Like I think they're overrated, super overrated. I don't think this team's that good. I really don't understand the computer metrics. I've watched them play a million times, and I just don't understand it. They find a way to lose games, and I just don't think they're that good. And Oregon State, they're playing well right now. They haven't been bad. Like when you look at these two bid thieves in Georgetown and Oregon State, like Georgetown sucked this year, but Oregon State is actually pretty good. So they've been a solid team. I think they were fifth in the, I'm pretty sure they were fifth in the Pac-12 this year. So I'm fine with that. I'm going Oregon State over Tennessee here. Oklahoma State, Liberty. Liberty's a good team, man. I mean, 97th in KenPom, 90th in Haslametrics, and 86th in the net. They're 10-0 in their last 10 games, coming in with a 12-game winning streak. So, I mean, that's really good. But Oklahoma State, they got Cade Cunningham, 30th in KenPom, 32nd in Haslametrics, 29th in the net, 8-2 in their last 10 games, including a win over freaking Baylor, and 2 over West Virginia, 1 without Cade Cunningham and Isaac Likely. Yeah, I go to Liberty. Like, if you didn't know that, that's where I am at college, like, right now. But Cade freaking Cunningham is an absolute beast. Isaac Likely is one of the best, most underrated players in the country. Avery Anderson, out of nowhere, has come on as of late. This team's good. They're scary good. I'm going them. They shouldn't be a 4. Like, them in West Virginia in this bracket should be flipped. I don't understand that at all. But, Oklahoma State, I'm picking them to beat Liberty pretty handily here. San Diego State, outside from Gonzaga, hottest team in the country right now. They're 20th in KenPom, 14th in Haslametrics, and 18th in the net. 10-0 in their last 10. Coming into this tournament with a 14-game winning streak. Hottest team in the country, aside from freaking Gonzaga, who has not lost a game all year long. But that is San Diego State. They're playing Syracuse. 41st in Haslametrics, 41st in KenPom, 43rd in Haslametrics, and 40th in the net. They're 6-4 in their last 10. 0-game winning streak coming in. 2 wins before the ACC tournament. I'm going San Diego State. Really, really, really like the San Diego State team. I think they're another team kind of under, like, I think they should be a 5 and Loyola Chicago should be a 6. That's where I'd move them. Or maybe both should be a 5. Like, I mean, San Diego State's good. A little underseeded here, in my opinion. West Virginia, Morehead State. West Virginia is 27th in KenPom, 27th in Haslametrics, and 24th in the net. They're 6-4 in their last 10 games, coming in with a 0-game winning streak and a 1-game losing streak before the conference tournament. Morehead State, 128th in KenPom, 139th in the Haslametrics, and 122nd in the net. 9-1 in their last 10, coming in with a 7-game winning streak. I'm going West Virginia. I don't think Morehead State's got anything for them. Deuce McBride's really, really good. Derek Culver's really good. McNeil can shoot the lights out. So, yeah, that's where I'm going with that. Clemson Rutgers. Clemson, they rank 42nd in KenPom, 69th in the Haslametrics, and 41st in the net. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games. Rutgers 34th in KenPom, 52nd in the Haslem-Metrics, and 38th in the net. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. Neither of them coming in on a winning streak. Both these teams suck. We'll go Rutgers. Big Ten. I was just going to go Big Ten. Like, that's literally my only reasoning. I kind of thought Clemson was overrated, but I've also thought Rutgers was overrated all year. So we'll go Rutgers. Houston's winning. They're really good. All right, it's the end of my first round. That took me 30 minutes. A lot longer than I thought. And this is going to be a long video, but whatever. I really doubt anybody's actually going to finish this thing, but, if you like it, go for it. I'm actually like breaking down the games. Most of the videos you see on YouTube, they just pick. I like to break down the games. When we look at the upsets I picked, so I picked one, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess 5 if you count the 10, 6, 7, 8. That's a lot, man. I really doubt all those happen. I mean, honestly, UNC Greensboro probably won't be Florida State, but I'm rolling with it. I think some of these will, but, obviously not all of them are going to happen. Maybe they could, and I'll feel like a freaking genius. If after day 1, this bracket's perfect, or after day 2, this bracket's freaking perfect, I'll be so happy. But I'm rolling with it. Screw it, man. It's March. You never know what's going to happen, so we're going with it. Let's go to the second round, because this video is getting long. Gonzaga, Oklahoma. Yep, Gonzaga. What in the world is this bracket Gonzaga has to play? It's such a joke. They got such an easy run here. I'm going Gonzaga. That's pretty much it. UCSB, Ohio. All right, so this game, I got to find these teams on my... All right, UCSB versus Ohio. I picked both these upsets, and now they're playing each other. We have UCSB, 69th in KenPom, 75th in Haslam, and 54th in the net. They're 9-1 in their last 10, coming in with a 5-game winning streak. Then you go down to... Who are they playing? Ohio, 78th in KenPom, 76th in Haslam metrics, and 87th in the net. They're also 9-1 in their last 10. Santa Barbara, overall, the computer metrics do grade out better. Ohio coming in with a 3-game winning streak. 1 loss before the conference tournament. Santa Barbara grades out better. They're hotter. I'm going to go Santa Barbara. Like Ohio, but that's it. I made up my mind to Santa Barbara. Sweet 16. Gonzaga with the awesome, super tough Sweet 16 matchup against University California Santa Barbara. Oh, my God. Gonzaga, the committee just said, here, Final Four. All right. USC, Kansas. Kansas is a 3 seed. USC is a 6. Kansas, 22nd in KenPom, 19th in Haslam, 11th in the net. 8-2 in their last 10, 3-game winning streak coming in. USC is... they're 14th in KenPom, 26th in Haslam metrics, and 19th in the net, 6-4 in their last 10 games. They're on a 0-game winning streak, but we're on a 2-game winning streak before. Now, look, Kansas is traveling to Indianapolis without David McCormick, their starting center, so who in the world is going to guard Evan Mobley? There you go. They had COVID issues as well, including, starting center David McCormick, who's probably, their second or third best player this year. So, USC's been playing well. I think they're a really good team. Evan Mobley is an absolute superstar. He is, in my opinion, the best player in this draft. All you Kate Cunningham guys, don't get all pissed off. He's second for me. They're both freaking insane, but I like Mobley better. I think he's gonna be a star. There's not many 7-footers who can, take a ball rolls out to half court. They can take it, do a few dribble moves for a pull up. There's not a lot of 7-footers who can do that. Just saying. Oregon, Iowa. You have Oregon 36th in KenPom, 35th in Haslam metrics, and 33rd in the net. 8-2 in their last 10. They had a 5-game winning streak before the conference tournament. But Iowa's good. 5th in KenPom, 5th in Haslam metrics, 6th in the net. 8-2 in their last 10. They were on a 2-game winning streak before the conference tournament. This team's elite. I'm picking Iowa. Love this team. So good offensively. Defensively could use a little bit of work, which will probably cost them at some point in this tournament. I don't think they'll win a championship, but they are a good team. I've always said all year long, Iowa, if they get the right matchups, can win the whole thing. As you can see, Gonzaga's in this tournament, in this bracket side, and we're not even. They might not get there. I might pick USC. I'm not sure yet, but that's not the right matchup. They lost by 30 in them earlier this year. We'll go to the East, second round. Oh, we have Michigan, LSU now. This is the game that last night I was sitting out there with my roommates, and I'm like, yo, LSU could beat Michigan, and they're like, no way, and I was like, and then I started telling them about LSU, and they're like, oh my gosh, they could beat Michigan, and I don't know. Michigan computer metrics look great, right? 2nd in KenPom, 2nd in Haslam metrics, 4th in the net. 7-3 in their last 10. And then LSU, 29th in KenPom, 29th in Haslam metrics, 28th in the net, 7-3 in their last 10 as well. But Michigan's without Isaiah Livers. He has a most likely stress fracture in his foot. So he's out. Like, I mean, he's most likely done for the season. Like, they haven't officially ruled him out for the season, but like, he's not coming back, and that's big. Like, when that guy scores double digits, they've lost like 2 games the last few years. He's very important. He's one of their best offensive players. And obviously he has shown without him it showed. Like, they made a really big comeback at the end against Ohio State there, but for that game they got dominated for the most part. Michigan outplayed him in the last 2 minutes, but that's it. And Michigan still lost. So that's gonna hurt. LSU, man, I'm telling you, this team offensively is a monster. Trendon Watford, Javonte Smart, Darius Days, Cameron Thomas, bro. They are elite. I know Michigan's got Franz Wagner. They got Mike Smith, Hunter Dickinson. They're good offensively too, but man, that LSU offense is scary. Man, I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to pick. I really think this is going to be the game that I last all weekend on. And no, can't go there yet because I haven't got to that part of the bracket. I don't know what I want to do. I really think LSU can beat them. I usually don't ever pick a 1 over or an 8 over a 1 or something, but when you have injuries, that changes things. And LSU's look good. I mean, they went to the last shot Bama. Bama has basically blown out everybody in the SEC this year. Missouri beat them, but Missouri, in the second half of that game, Alabama blew out Missouri, but Missouri was up so much, Alabama had an awful first half and they won. Arkansas is really good. They beat Alabama. All right, whatever. Arkansas is really good. But then LSU just beat Arkansas. LSU is good, man. I'm going to screw it, bro. Screw it. It's freaking March. I don't even care. I'm going to lose $5 to my friends in their ESPN challenge bracket, but whatever. I don't even care. I'm doing it, man. Michigan, if they don't win this game, they're losing the next one. LSU's an 8 seed, and I got them beating 1. That's fun. That's fun, man. But I'm going to do it. Screw it. Colorado, UNC Greensboro. 17th in KenPom for Colorado, 13th in the Hazelmetrics, and 15th in the net. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They were on a 4-game win streak before the conference tournament. UNC Greensboro, 100th in 100th in KenPom, 102nd in Hazelmetrics, and 24th in the net. 8-2 in their last 10. They've won. They're on a 4-game winning streak coming in. But it's going to end here. Colorado's good, man. I mean, I've seen some Colorado slander on the timeline the last few days. What is this? I've seen people say, they're overrated or computer numbers or whatever, but no, this team is a senior-led team. McKinley Wright is one of the best senior guards in the entire country. And when you see these teams led by upperclassmen, those are teams that find a way to go far here. So I'm going to go Colorado. I think they're an underrated team. That's going to be a fun game to discuss. Colorado-LSU Sweet 16 matchup. I don't think a lot of people are going to be picking that one, but that's what this guy's doing. I also, by the way, I came in last in my college. In the last tournament, I came in last place in our bracket challenge. But the year before, I came in second, so it's March. Who the hell knows, man? I do well in the conference tournaments. Did very well this week picking those, but yeah, we'll see. Michigan State, I picked over UCLA and BYU. Okay, yeah. So Michigan State, Texas. Texas, 26th in KenPom, 25th in Hazelmetrics, and 21st in the net. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games, coming in with a 5-game winning streak. Versus Michigan State, who is 56th in KenPom, 60th in the Hazelmetrics, and 70th in the net. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games, 0-game winning streak coming in. Yeah, it ends here. Texas is really good, man. I've been kind of like, so again, I talked about Texas when I talked about Abilene Christian, but at the beginning of the year, I was like, oh my gosh, Texas can win the national championship. And then it kind of slowed down. I was like, ooh, they're not playing so great. But they've really rebounded, and they've been playing amazing recently, and then that really showed them winning the Big 10 or Big 12 tournament. I really like Texas here. I'm gonna go with them. I think they can. I think they could get to the Final Four. We'll see if I pick them there, but I think they could get there. So yeah, Texas, I like them a lot. Yukon Alabama. Yukon 16th in KenPom, 9th in Hazelmetrics, 30th in the net. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They had a 4-game winning streak before the Big East tournament. Alabama 8th in KenPom, 7th in Hazelmetrics, and 7th in the net. 9-1 in their last 10. They're on a 6-game winning streak coming in. Yeah, it's gonna end for Yukon here. Bama's good. Bama, they shoot the lights out. They're just launching threes all day long. But that's not what makes Alabama so good. I mean, yeah, that's part of it. But Alabama's defense is on a whole nother level. That defense is elite. One of the best perimeter defenses in the country. Herb Jones, Javon Quinterly, John Petty Jr. Hopefully Josh Primo can come back. Jordan Brunner, Alex Reese. That team's loaded. I'm going Bama. Roll Tide to the Sweet 16. We go over to the South region for the Sweet 16. Baylor, North Carolina's first game. Sorry, Carolina, you're out. Baylor's moving on. I mean, they're so good. I mean, I know they lost to Oklahoma State, but like everyone's freaking out about Baylor losing to Oklahoma State, and yeah, okay, maybe that. I mean, I earlier in the year, I'll say this, I was like, oh my gosh, Baylor could actually be the best team of all time. They're one of the best teams I've ever seen play basketball, but they haven't been, ever since COVID, I gotta admit, they have not been playing as well. But a loss to Oklahoma State does not mean we need to freak out about them. Oklahoma State's really freaking good. Cade Cunningham is a stud. So I'm not worried too much. Baylor's beating North Carolina. We'll move on. Winthrop Purdue is an interesting game here. I'm definitely considering Winthrop here. They're 91st in KenPom, 79th in the Hazelmetrics, and 55th in the net. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games with a 7-game winning streak coming into this tournament. Then they're playing Purdue, who's 13th in KenPom, 23rd in the net, and 22nd in ugh, oh my gosh, in the net. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. Just ignore that. They're good. They have good metrics. 7-3 in their last 10 games, 5-game winning streak before the Big Ten tournament. Wow, that was a disaster. Man, I don't know who I want here. I really like Winthrop, and I always have to pick a lower seeded team to get to the next round. But I did pick UC Santa Barbara already. Do I think 2 12s get to the Sweet 16? Probably not. Let me just go take a glance here. I don't like. Yeah. Man, I like Purdue, but I don't love Purdue. Purdue's just like they're good. They're not great. They're not bad. They're just good. But Winthrop's also really good. 1-loss team on the year. I mean, it doesn't matter. Either one of them's losing to Baylor anyway. I want to say Winthrop. My heart says Winthrop. But my brain tells me it's Purdue. Got to stick with the brain here. We're going Purdue, and I already said I picked Baylor, so Baylor, fine. Elite Eight. Yeah, whatever. Utah State, Arkansas. This is going to be an interesting game as well. Utah State 40th in KenPom, 39th in Hazelmetrics, and 39th in the net. 7-3 in the last 10 games. Had a 4-game winning streak before the conference tournament. Then they're going up against Arkansas, who is 18th in KenPom, 21st in Hazelmetrics, and 14th in the net. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games. Had an 8-game winning streak coming in before the SEC tournament, where they lost to LSU, who I picked to be Michigan. Arkansas is winning. They're really good. The SEC is the most underrated conference in the country. It's not even close. The SEC is so underrated. Bama, Arkansas, LSU. Ole Miss was underrated all year. They just missed the tournament. It sucked, but they were good. And there's one other team I'm just like forgetting about. I still think Tennessee's overrated. I guess that's it. Florida, Ohio State. I already said I hated Florida. We're going to Ohio State. They're really good. Let's move on to the Midwest region. Illinois, Loyola. Stupid game. This is stupid that this has to be a second-round game. It's ridiculous. I was going to pick Loyola Chicago to maybe be an Elite Eight team. Not against Illinois, though. I'm picking Illinois. 7-game winning streak coming in here. And against, like I said, Iowa, Ohio State twice, Michigan, Wisconsin. They're beating everybody. Illinois is great. Iowa DeSumo is the best player in the country. Yeah, screw Luka Garza. Iowa DeSumo should win Player of the Year. It won't be, but he should. Loyola's great, though. 9-1 in the last 10. 6-game winning streak coming in here. 9th in KenPom, 18 Hazelmetrics, 10th in the net. This is disrespectful to both these teams that they have to play each other in this round. Like, it just is. Illinois is winning, though. Sorry, Loyola. Love to pick you guys, but Illinois is winning. They're just great. All right? Illinois, they're making Illinois earn it, though. I will say it. Oregon State, Oklahoma State. Oregon State, 85th in KenPom, 70th in the net, 70th in Hazelmetrics, 91st in the net, 7-3 in the last 10. 3-game winning streak coming in. Oklahoma State, 30th in KenPom, 32nd in the Hazelmetrics, and 29th in the net. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. Cade Cunningham's a beast. Oregon State, your luck runs out here. Moving on to Oklahoma State. San Diego State, West Virginia. This is a game, man. This is a game that no one's going to see coming. San Diego State wins. And I love, if you know me, like personally, Deuce McBride, Miles McBride, whatever you want to say, I love that guy. I think he's an absolute stud, and I think he's going to be maybe possible for Player of the Year next year. Love him. I think he's going to be a good NBA player too. It reminds me of Kyle Lowry so much. Love the guy. But San Diego State, man, they're good. And I mean, 20th in KenPom, 14th in Hazelmetrics, and 18th in net. 10-0 in their last 10. 14-game winning streak, hottest team in the country. West Virginia's kind of not been playing so great recently. There's 27th in KenPom, 27th in Hazelmetrics, 24th in net, 6-4 in the last 10. Yeah, San Diego State, man. I'm doing it. They're going to Sweet 16 by West Virginia, and I love West Virginia. This pains me to do this. One of my favorite teams to watch this year is West Virginia, and I want Bob Huggins to win a championship so bad, but we're going San Diego State here. That's who's going to win that game. Rutgers, Houston. Rutgers 34th in KenPom, 52nd in Hazelmetrics, 38th in net, 5-5 in the last 10. But Houston, 6th in KenPom, 6th in Hazelmetrics, 5th in the net, 9-1 in the last 10, 7-game winning streak coming in. Pretty easy pick there for me to pick Houston. See, like, why is it? Seriously, NCAA committee, if you're watching this, because I know you are, why does Houston have an easier path to the Sweet 16 than Illinois? All right, that's all I gotta say. That's it. I'm not going to harp on the committee anymore because Loyola's out for me now. So, All right, Gonzaga, Oklahoma. We're in the Sweet 16 now. Not Gonzaga, Oklahoma. Gonzaga, UCSB. Love UCSB, but they're done. All right, USC, Iowa is a tough game to pick here. I really think USC can beat them. They're 14th in KenPom, 26th in Haslametrics, and 19th in the net. 6-4 in their last 10 games with a 2-game winning streak coming in. Then you have Iowa, who is 5th in KenPom, 5th in the Haslametrics, and 6th in the net. They are 8-2 in their last 10 games with a 2-game winning streak before the Big Ten tournament. Love these two teams. I love USC. I love them, and I'm telling you, Luka Garza versus Evan Mobley is going to be a fun matchup, and Garza cannot guard him. Garza is not mobile enough to guard Evan Mobley, but that's not the only part of Iowa that makes him so good. Joe Wieskamp, C.J. Frederick, Jordan Bohannon, the McCaffrey brothers. That team's great. That team's so good offensively. Ooh, I clicked UCSB instead of Gonzaga. Oops. Maybe UCSB is going to upset them. No, Iowa. Going Iowa. LSU Colorado. This is a fun game, man. This is a fun game. A game that probably shocked a lot of people. Even shocks myself that I'm saying it. That LSU and Colorado is a Sweet 16 matchup. LSU 7-3 in their last 10. 2-game winning streak before the conference tournament. Colorado 7-3 in their last 10. 4 wins before the conference tournament. Colorado's computer metrics are better, but LSU off. But I just harped on so much about these upperclassmen-led teams, and I guess LSU kind of is. Like, Javonte Smart's a junior guard, and I think Darius Day is also a junior, but Wofford's a sophomore. Cameron Thomas, their leading scorer, is a freshman. Oh, I want to pick LSU so bad. You know, it's funny, because 2 years ago, man, I was so high on LSU. That was when you had Naz Reid, Javonte Smart was still there. Who were Tremont Waters, yeah, that team. I had them in the championship. I had them losing in the championship. LSU, they lost in the Sweet 16. And they killed my brackets. I mean, that was the main reason my bracket sucked. Last year was LSU, or 2 years ago. And now I'm back here again with LSU in the Sweet 16, an 8th seed. What is it with me and LSU, man? Every single year it feels like I'm always higher on them than I probably should be. Do I do it to myself again and maybe get revenge and they're finally in the Elite Eight? Or do I pick Colorado? I'm going to go Colorado. It's Colorado, though, man. They shouldn't be in the Elite Eight. Now we're going LSU. We're doing it. They're going to get revenge from me last year. We're going LSU. And then and then Alabama, Texas, man. Love this game. Love these two teams. Great Sweet 16 matchup here. I got to find it on my spreadsheet. There's Bama. Bama we'll talk about first. 8th in KenPom, 7th in Haslametrics, 7th in the net. They're 9-1 in their last 10 with a 6-game winning streak. Texas, 26th in KenPom, 25th in Haslametrics, 21st in the net. 8-2 in their last 10, 5-game winning streak coming in. I'm picking Bama. Love this team. Think they're just better. I just think they're a better team, but I really like Texas. I would have loved for this game to actually be the Elite 8 matchup instead of Sweet 16. I'm going Bama. And that's going to set up a rematch of the SEC Tournament Championship, which probably will not happen just because that kind of crap never happens in March in the NCAA Tournament. So it's probably not going to happen, and maybe I should just pick Colorado. I really don't know who to pick, man. I'm going back to that game. We got to discuss this more, man. I don't know. I really don't know who to pick. I mean, Colorado's got better computer metrics. They have an average of 15, and LSU has an average of 28.6. They're both 7-3 in their last 10. LSU had a 2-game winning streak going into the SEC tournament. Colorado had a 4-game winning streak going into the SEC tournament. I know LSU's better offensively than Colorado, but Colorado's good. McKinley Wright's good. They're a good team, man. Love that team. I forgot the center's name, but he's really good. I've watched Colorado a lot this year. They were a team I was really high on before they were ranked. I was like, this team's actually legit. Don't count them out. Oh my gosh, I don't know who to pick. My heart tells me LSU. Head probably says Colorado, but then at the same time, it's freaking Colorado. Colorado ain't going to this Elite Eight. It's Colorado. When's the last time you saw Colorado in the Elite Eight? Colorado. LSU. My heart says LSU. I'm sticking with LSU. Oh my gosh. All right. We already moved on. Baylor, Arkansas, Ohio State. Yeah, I'm picking Colorado because I'm going to pick Arkansas here, and I cannot have 3 SEC teams in the Elite Eight. I just can't. So, look, I like Ohio State. I like Dwayne Washington. I like E.J. Liddell. I think they're a really good team, but Arkansas is the most underrated team in the country. They're the most underrated program in the country. Eric Musselman's a fantastic coach. So is Chris Holtmann. Don't get me wrong, Chris Holtmann, Ohio State, great coach. But they're already a good program. SEC, Arkansas on the rise as a program. They're 9-1 in their last 10 with 8 wins coming in their last 10 games as well. And then Ohio State, 4 losses they're 5-5 in their last 10 games. I know their computer numbers look better. I know those were 2 good teams. I like Arkansas here. I think Arkansas wins and they go to the Elite Eight. Illinois, Oklahoma State. Sorry, Cade Cunningham, you're a bucket, but Iowa's better as a better college player right now. Cade Cunningham deserves to be number 1 pick. Not going to say he doesn't, but as a college player this year, Iowa's been better. 30th in KenPom for Oklahoma State, 32nd in Haslametrics, 29th in the net. They're 8-2 in their last 10, a 1-game winning streak before the conference tournament. Illinois has won, their last 7 games, or 7 under, yeah, they're 1 in their last 7 games, 9-1 in their last 10, 3rd in KenPom, 4th in Haslametrics, 3rd in the net. Love Iota Sumo. I hate Kofi Coburn. Love Andre Curbelo. I'm going Illinois. San Diego State, Houston. Ooh, I haven't even thought about this matchup because last time I bracketed West Virginia being San Diego State. Changed it this morning. I was going through this. I was like kind of looking at San Diego State's metrics stuff. I was like, oh gosh, they're actually really good. So I picked them. This is a fun matchup, man. Houston, 6 in KenPom, 6th in Haslametrics, 5th in the net. They're 9-1 in their last 10, 7-game winning streak coming in. Then you look at San Diego State, hottest team in the country. They're 20th in KenPom, 14th in Haslametrics, 18th in the net, 10-0 in their last 10, 14-game winning streak coming in. Screw it, man. Screw it. It's freaking March. We're going to put San Diego State in the Elite Eight. Oh, my gosh. What an Elite Eight we got here. Gonzaga, Iowa, Baylor, Arkansas, Illinois, San Diego State, Colorado, Bama. We have what? 2 Big Ten teams, 1 Big 12 team, 2 SEC teams, 1 Pac-12 team. Oh, no, wait, we have 2 Big 12 teams. Yeah, 2 SEC, Big 10, and Big 12 teams. Yeah, those are the 3 best conferences in the country. That seems about right to me. I like that, and you have Gonzaga and Colorado from the Pac-12. I like this, man. I like this. I like it a lot. All right, Elite Eight, Iowa, Gonzaga. Iowa, your luck runs out. You lost by 30 to them already this year. Gonzaga's in the Final Four. I don't even have to say anymore. Colorado, Alabama. Alabama's my pick. They're just better. Offensively, they're elite. Can shoot the lights out of the ball. They can score. They have a bunch of score. They have Petty can score. Herb Jones has become a scorer this year. Javon Quinterly, Jelly fan, bro. He's a bucket. He can score. If Josh Primo plays, he can score. But I think he's straining his MCL. He might come back. He can score. Alex Reese can score a little bit. Like they have guys who can score the ball. I'm picking Bama here. Then you have Baylor and Arkansas. I love Arkansas, but their luck runs out here. I'm gonna pick Baylor. Baylor is 4 players shooting 40% from the 3-point line. Jared Butler's an absolute stud. He's an All-American this year. What a great player that guy is. Love that guy. He's a fantastic player. And, I mean, Matthew Meyer with the mullet is an absolute stud. Love that guy. The mullet bros bringing it to the tournament. Baylor going to win the game over Arkansas. Illinois, San Diego State. San Diego State, your luck runs out here. Iota Sumo, Kofi Coburn, Andre Curbelo. And the family in Illinois, you see the jersey up there, right there. I can't even right there. Iota Sumo, best player of the year, bro. They're winning this game, beating San Diego State, putting them in the Final Four. So now we got a Final Four of the Zags versus Bama, Baylor versus Illinois. Stay tuned for the next. No, okay. Gonzaga, Alabama. This game goes to Gonzaga. They're going all the way to the championship without losing a game. Drew Timme, Corey Kispert, Jalen Suggs, Joel Ajayi, Andrew Nembhard. Too much for Bama to handle here. Just not going to be able to keep up offensively. I love this game. I love Bama, but we're going Gonzaga. And then Baylor, Illinois in the rematch from earlier in the year. Illinois is playing better right now. Iowa's best player on the floor. As good as Baylor defensively is, they're not super big. So I think they might have a little bit issues guarding Kofi Coburn. This can be a fantastic matchup. Comes down to the wire. Two of the best guards, if not the 2 best guards in college basketball this year, deucing it out with Jared Butler versus Iota Sumo. But we're giving it to Illinois. And that is going to put Illinois and Gonzaga in the championship. I know this is chalky. I know this is probably a Final Four. A lot of people are going to pick. I don't really care. I'm picking Illinois to beat Gonzaga, though. I think Gonzaga probably gets more picks overall to win the championship instead of Illinois. But Illinois is my champion, man. I mean, I've been rocking with them all year. They're my preseason champion because I think Iota Sumo is the best player in the country. I think he's going to be an absolute star in the NBA. He's going to be a steal in this draft. I've been saying that since a year ago. Love his mindset. Love everything about that kid. I think he's a great player, and I think they're going to win. I think this game is going to be elite. Illinois, as great as Gonzaga is, they're not that deep. They only run about 5 or 6 guys a lot of minutes, where Illinois is going to run out you 8 to 9 players. They could wear you down. They're a quick team. Andre Curbelo is a very quick player. They can shoot well. They're big. This team's very good, very deep. I'm going Illinois. But yeah, that's going to be it for my bracket. This is a long video, man. I haven't recorded a video for an hour in a while. But that's it. That's fun. I had a blast recording this. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the championship. Tell me your Final Four. Tell me your upsets. Tell me where I was a complete idiot in making these picks, because I know that's what people are going to say. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. Like, subscribe, all that crap. Have a great rest of your day. And it's March. Have a great March. Have a fantastic March.